Hey guys, it's Jade, and I'm here with some tips and tricks. So scams have been around since forever. I mean, con men, I bet back in the Stone Age, people have been conning and stealing from it. I don't know. It's a thing. So nowadays, it gets harder and harder to understand. Is this a scam or is this a good investment? Especially for things with your music and your art, because everyone's trying to push yourselves forward, but you're not really thinking, is this a good investment or is this what we need right now? Also, you don't even, a lot of these companies are startup companies or new companies, or they don't have a lot of history. So that's always a big red flag, is if it's like, there's no website, or they have like a one-page website and you can't really tell any details or anything, or you can't really Google them or things like that. Those are good ways to like double check and fact check, but it doesn't always work. A lot of these things will come up and it'll be like, hey, submit your music for our Spotify playlist. So you'll send $50 in and they'll say, we'll put you in some playlists. And there's no way of knowing. You don't see if you've been added. There's no email notification. There's nothing about it. That's a scam. You've been scammed. And I can raise my hand and say I've done it. I was like, oh man, yes, I'd totally like my music to be submitted to a whole bunch of things. And that's the thing. Some say submitted, and then it doesn't even matter if you get picked or not, or get added or not. They still keep your money. Some are like guaranteed Spotify, playlist placement, and even then, if they don't email you and tell you about it, or you can't actually find it or anything like that, then they've just taken your money. So be on guard. There's a lot of companies that'll start up that'll offer like, oh cool, spend X amount of dollars and we'll get you real engagement or real fans. But like they'll have it written in their clause, in a contract or in a thing that you hit accept, or when you hit payment or whatever, that like says that if they don't deliver, or they don't, if you don't see any engagement or anything like that, it's not their fault. I even hired a local PR team who shall go nameless, and they promised they wanted to help us with our EP release, and we sent them a lot of money, and literally days before we were like, you haven't done a thing, and they were like, oh well, we ended up like making you a video, and we're like, we do all our video work anyway, we didn't hire you for that, you're supposed to get us in magazines. And so they were waiting for their second installment, and I was like, no, I'm not going to pay you. And then they showed the contract, which says, basically literally said in it, if they have no results, it's not their fault, we still have to pay. So legally, I still have to pay, and that sucked. Lesson learned. So even with actual companies, with actual people, be very careful on what you sign. A lot of things that you end up dealing with online that are like, just fill out the submission form, send in your money, probably a scam. There should be someone touching base with you. You should be able to email someone asking some questions. You should be able to get in touch with someone. Also, ones that are in Facebook pages that'll like, hey, looking for new bands to submit to our radio station, blah, 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 or to put on air, or to put on our playlists. Those are still scams. You're still just you're putting your link down and you're sharing your music with someone who may not have the best interests for your music at heart. They might be stealing it and putting it on those like huge libraries of free stock music. And you'd never know unless you heard it in like a something or other, and be like, hey, that's my song. So you just have to be super careful. You have to be careful with your music and your art, that it goes to the right people, and that you still have complete control over it. Because if you end up doing a deal with someone and they maintain control or rights over your music or that recording, that's it. You're gone. Like you signed it away, you gave it away, you sold it. So be very conscious on what you do, what you sign, and read things. Just, it sounds like a simple idea, but take a second. Don't get too enthusiastic when you see, your music could be in thousands of playlists. And it's like, oh, that'd be nice. Yes, of course. But, take a second, do some research, check it out. Make sure it works before you send off $100. Because even if it's like, oh, only send $25 and we'll put you in this, that's even more likely that it's probably a scam, because they're getting like tons of bands. It was like, oh, it's only $25. And then they hear nothing and they're like, oh, whatever, it was just $25. But they end up like, getting just tons of this free money basically. So be careful, be cautious. Hope you guys are doing well. Keep rocking. Check out the rest of our channels for even more tips and tricks, reviews, all that kind of good stuff. Submit your music down below, and we are not a scam, and we will review it as quick as we can. Hope you guys are rocking. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, it's Jade. Thanks for checking out the video. You can subscribe over here, as well as check out some more of our cool videos. And please, thanks for supporting us. That helps us support local and independent musicians all over the world. This is really cool, and I think you guys are awesome. See you guys later. Bye.